Madagascar, a tropical island in the Indian Ocean, not far from the southeastern coast of Africa. An island known for its rich and unique biodiversity, also for its cultural mixtures between Africa and Asia. One of the poorest nations on earth, one of the countries with the highest illiteracy in the sub-Saharan region, dragged by its past political unrest and economical turmoil. Madagascar was once the birthplace of the extreme metal scene of Africa. For a long time, their story were hidden and untold. However, after more than 3 decades, several local band members, survivors, decided to break their silence and start telling their untold story of the underground extreme metal scene that happened during the past glory era.
Mad Metal Evolution.
From the Manabul River, the Bay of Luka, the Tsing of Bemara, the white beach of Nus Iranza, the unringed mountains, the vast plateau of Urumbe, or through the Mafal spiny forests and the baobab forests, I did not see any relation between these landscapes and the extreme metal philosophy. My questions are still not have any answers. Where, how, and why these young artists were attracted to play extreme metal. Some pieces of the puzzle could be found in the cities and probably in their culture as well. After I was talking with many band members and extreme metal fans, many of them mentioned that big part of why they are attracted and decided to adopt this extreme metal music as a lifestyle were because of the love of this genre. But also, it is a way for them to express their feelings and emotion from their life struggles. Poverty, insecurities, illnesses, sudden loss of loved ones, lack of education and access to healthcare, missed opportunities, environmental destructions, social and governmental oppression, corruptions, or uncertainties were among these youth concerned and problems. Many of them choose this genre as a form of messages to whom may concern. Basically, it is a way to revolt and being a rebel through music. In this episode, I decided to dig a little deeper. I invited not only bands and musicians, but also some storytellers, author, and book writer. I invited Edward Banks, the author of the books Heavy Metal Africa and Scream for Me Africa. These books are probably the only books who tell in length and in details about the heavy metal scene in the forgotten continents. He will tell us his views, perspectives, and experiences as an outsider.
I'm Edward Banks, the author of Heavy Metal Africa, Life, Passion, and Heavy Metal in the Forgotten Continent, and a second book called Scream for Me Africa, post-colonial heavy metal and post-colonial identities in Africa. And I have traveled the African continent, not fully extensively, but enough to about 14, at least 8 countries to document heavy metal music in Africa. And the Malagasy scene I got to know personally in 2014. It was a remarkable place to go. It was the 4th country I visited to research heavy metal, and I had I didn't know much about Madagascar other than it was an island and it was big. The metal scene actually was pretty quiet outside Madagascar until I went in there and I saw how large it was. I was very fortunate to get some messages on social media platforms from some fans there that really wanted me to come, and they told me about some of the bands, and I said I couldn't find any bands, and when I went there I was shocked by just how many bands I saw there and what I was hearing. I thought it was remarkable. So many bands, and what really surprised me about it was how passionate fans are there for rock music and for heavy metal music. How resilient they are. This is unlike any other scene in Africa. This is one of the poorest countries in the whole continent, and things still managed to. The players in the scene still made the scene move forward. There were no egos about them. There was no, they shared instruments, they shared practice spaces, they shared acumen in order to help make things go forward. No egos whatsoever. It was humbling to see. I was blown away by it. I really loved it. I got to meet both old and new musicians. I got to meet some of the earliest players, guys that were around in Lake Balafanga, Kassar, Apost. Got to meet them. Muni. I got to meet some of these young bands like Seth and Behind the Mask, and everyone in between. I did good amount of interviews and was just stunned by the passion for rock and heavy metal music in the continent. It was actually, like I said, it's not like any other scene in Africa, that's for sure. I did feel there was a few issues with it, notably that the performing in Malagasy, so they're holding themselves back a little bit. I thought that, doing your best to perform in English is going to get your music outside of the continent. But they made the music remarkably Malagasy, even using the high antennae, if I said that correctly, the sort of like oral history, the pre-colonial tradition, I thought was just brilliant. And that just made the scene something different. It's still unlike anything I've ever seen, and honestly, still surprising when I think about just how large the scene is, not only in terms of bands, but also in terms of the passion, the fans. There were dedicated radio shows, television shows, everything for rock and metal, because they love this music in Madagascar, and it's just wonderful. And to know that a song like Apocalypse is just a part of that country's history. There's no other group of Africans I can say that. That's how enmeshed and enculturated a type of music is to a country and an identity. And that's why I think Madagascar to me was just stunning.
By the time the show was over, protection bars were teared down, flower pots were destroyed, seats and chairs were smashed. The band was fine big time, but the ambience were heavy and fast. It was a new beginning of an extreme metal era. The quartet was formed in the city of Antananarivo in 1990. Thrash metal was their main portion. Death metal and heavy metal were their recipes. They were surprised and questions were asked if their music incited music fans to act and behave violently at that time. Contrary to their elder generation, the band were dressed with simple t-shirts, jeans, Converse shoes and shorter hair style. Even though the Red Island was a bit detached from the socialism regime, music instruments, rehearsal studios, recording facilities were not an easy access for this kind of a music genre. More often, they had to support each other as a small community. In the 90s, even until nowadays, freedom of expression still a blockage for many extreme metal bands in Madagascar. The band had been participating into several shows since its formation. Some were public, but most were underground among many other bands. Back in the 90s, they had to memorize every studio's amps and pedals for them to have the same sounds for the rehearsal and the shows. They have about 200 pages of settings. During that era, you can easily spot a metalhead by their dresses. For them, the skull symbol is a metal reunification, Everyone has different faces while you are alive, but once you are dead, the skulls are pretty much the same, no matter you are white, black, from Asia or Europe, America or Africa. In many cases, capital cities are the first place we received or adopt most of the new foreign style, fashions, cars, news, technologies, tendencies, or new culture. This was truly the case of the evolution of the extreme metal music in Madagascar. As I mentioned in the previous chapter, this genre started in Antananarivo in the early 80s and was spreaded into other cities like Antsirabe, Tuamasina or Fianarantsoa, maybe beyond, but I didn't have any evidences. By 1990, new tendencies and styles blew their way from the West. Grunge, rap, hip-hop, punk, hardcore and more became a tendency and style at that time. Many of the younger generations quickly adopt these styles. Maybe they wanted to update it or a feeling that they didn't fit in the previous generation, or probably for them to bring a new style and tendency in the country. In Antananarivo, the capital city, a handful of extreme metal bands were formed compared to the 80s. Marts, Cherokees, Scalped Vores, Crematory, Gomor, Mashna were some band names I collected from my list. Probably this style did not really attracted many audiences and publics, so the new generation tried a new things. Meanwhile, other cities were just started to fully adopted the extreme metal style. Vultura, a band formed in the city of Tuamasina in 1993. Holy Angels formed in the city of Fianarantsoa in the same year. They were all extreme metal band formed from outside the capital. But the most city who had the most extreme metal band was the city of Antsirabe from that time until nowadays.
Fuck you, invaders!
Antsirabe attracted more extreme metal, especially thrashers. Several bands were formed around the city in the 90s. Sadistic was among them. Sadistic was formed around the year of 1991. In the beginning, the band was playing speed metal before they adopted the thrash metal style. Despite of the lack of materials and publics or fans, a handful of bands from the city of Antsirabe were dedicated to play this genre. This band was formed in Antsirabe, but soon they moved in Antananarivo to be close to a better studios, also for a better opportunities and audiences. Thrash metal was their main menu since their beginning. They went to music school for them to learn and understand the concept of music. Music instruments and studios were very simple at that time. Choices are very limited. Once the band was established into the capital city, they got the chance and the opportunity to meet more bands who practice the same style. Rehearsal studios were a little bit better than where they came from. In the mid-80s, by exchanging unknown cassette sources with friends, they did not know really who and how these cassettes were landed in Madagascar. They just wanted to listen to them to get more inspirations. Their first public appearances and show took place in Antananarivo around the year of 1994. The quartet impressed the public as they played fast and loud. Their long hair were a plus. Their fans remember that day until nowadays. Despite of their new musical orientation, the band leader still loved that era. This style was not really welcomed at that time. The sounds aggressively disturbed a lot of people and the society. It was so new to the public ears. More often, this genre was kept between a close circle of friends and the small community.
Para sakit dia sambil
Everything started with cassettes and album cassettes exchange between friends. The quartet were all teenagers at that time. The band chose to play speed and thrash metal because of the band leader adoration of Metallica and Iron Maiden. They combined these two styles to create their own and for them to experience a new sounds and styles. Also for them to have a unique style while they were on stage or on air. By the year of 1992, Caliph was born in the city of Antsirabe. Caliph means king. Choreography was popular in the city at that time, but these guys wanted to be different, so they chose and prefer to play extreme metal, even though this style was not popular at all during that era. It was not easy to be an extreme metalhead during that period. Their venues and shows were always financial losses. Very few came to their shows. By the year of 1997, the band was finally exposed and interacted with bands from the capital city. It was their first exposure beyond Antsirabe's horizon. From then, they were participating in several shows and venues. By the year of 2000, they were chosen to be the best speed metal band of the Red Island. Nowadays, the Madagascar Extreme Metal scene is pretty developed and the potential is bright. Since its beginning, some national and international producers were already curious and follow this subgenre and its evolution. Mamie Harrison, a former band member, is pretty confident that this metal subgenre will have a successful and bright future when one of the Madagascar metal fusion bands participated for the first time at the 2024 European Rock Festival Hellfest. I was on my way to Antsirabe for more interviews. I was observing the landscapes, the people, and all their surrounding. I checked on my notebook for this documentary. It seems to me that more bands were from this area than those from the capital. This was based on the responses, participants, and documents I received from the band we contacted. Based on what I heard, in the 90s, many bands were inspired and hooked up with extreme metal instead of playing heavy metal or hard rock or rock. They were more into death or thrash metal. This brought me to an idea that Antsirabe could be possibly the capital city of extreme metal of Madagascar in the 90s. Prophet was one of the band formed in Antsirabe in 1992. Rastum joined the band in 1997 and left around 2004 or 5. The band mostly soaked into death and thrash metal during that era. During that period, thrash and death metal had its special place and reputation among rock style. The way they did play it was quite different than how the new generations nowadays do it. It had more soul and spirits. Bands were more connected and helping each other in the 90s. Like many bands, Prophet had its hard time and struggle due to the lack of instruments, shows and venues, recording studios, access to medias and publication. But they were thankful that the only studio in town were very helpful. Rehearsal was so difficult during that time. Instruments were very simple and not enough for their needs. But the people who had instruments were very helpful and handy.
fampisehoana voalohany diraka tao anatin'ny groupe
Rasdum fourth show with the band was dated back in 1997. It was a fun show. Quite a bit of people came since it was a public show. But he was very anxious and terrified because it was his first appearance in such a public.
teo anatrehany mpijery raha mampita aloha zany raha amiko e mazoky ny aloha hafa ihany ny roka taloha ny roka taloha zany
From his personal view, he prefers the old school metal, probably because he's older. But that does not mean the new generations are bad, but he sees them differently.
ihany miaina tamin'ny roka taloha zay ndry amin'le kehitriny fa nefa zay kory tsy midika hoe ny kehitriny koa ratsy fa rehefa misy ny roka kehitriny dia tany ianao mba mijery ihany koa ahoana ny tena style andriamanitra
mikasika ny tantaran'ny mozika metal teto Antsirabe zany a ity quartier ity no quartier nambony Ansoa ainga teto ny mozika metal extrême teto Antsirabe moa zany Antananarivo nisy kely zarara nisy tany amin'ny taona 90 nainga amin'ny taona 90 no nipitra teto amin'ity quartier ity tato amin'ity trano ity zao no nalehibe
As I mentioned previously, by early 90s, this genre took roots in some region of Madagascar. In this interview, Manasseh Razaf Salam, shortened by Dams, one of the figures of extreme metal in Antsirabe, he will take us back in time and will tell us the story on how and why Antsirabe, a city about 100 miles south of the capital city, became the capital city of the extreme metal in Madagascar.
tsy maintsy zany bantikely aizany telefonina kokoa dia za zany nanana safidy manokana ny milona tao anatin'ny extreme metal nanangana ny groupe a tamin'ny taona 90 ny lalaoan'ny groupe visy tony tamin'izany fotoana zany hoe mbola nanao vocal libre fotsiny fa 91 zay nanomboka natao gitara nianatra ny mozika metal tena extreme mihitsy ny anarako tamin'izany fotoana zany hatramin'izao tsika miteny zao mbola milalao ilay mozika metal. Tena marina koa zany ty quartier ty quartier tamin'ny fotoan'andro na ty amin'ny ilan'ny atsinanana ty zany
The neighborhood in where Dams grew up was and still considered as a poor neighborhood, pretty much fall in the category of a slum. In the 50s and 60s, very few people lived there and was classified as a rural place. There was a Catholic priest home and a chapel. Also, it was a place where people buried their loved ones. Pretty much it was a public cemetery. As it was quite an isolated neighborhood, people were telling stories of an existence of a paranormal phenomenon, ghosts, spirits, and unexplainable phenomena were told by residents. Dams has friends who had been punched by an invisible spirit. Quite often, Dams felt darkness and evil spirit haunted him in the house where he grew up. From that paranormal phenomenon, the neighborhood got its nickname, the Demon City. All these past events and dark childhood shapes Dams to become a metalhead.
Le muzika extreme metal zany a dia be dia be mivany zany teo tanàna be dia be ny namako zany na ny lehibe na ny boy kely a nahita le zavatra nataoko tamin'izany fotoana zany.
Dams is one of the extreme metal influencer in the city of Antsirabe. He was the pioneer for many of the new generations. He had been helping several bands to become who they are nowadays. He is very proud of these young musicians that he taught and formed dearly. He is considered as the metal teacher in his city. Many of his students play in a band or have their own bands. Some are touring internationally or nationally. At the end of the day, he felt very proud and happy to see these young musicians pursue their path and thrive.
Faller le rouna nyaina tao anatin'ilay metal extreme be dia be mivandy kely nahazo fasina entana anazy nanana tenana hafa mihitsy zany niaraka mifampitaizan-tena dia betsaka ny groupe tsipihako manokana mamiaro son zanakadala élément bassistako milay zany kely akafiziko lesy eo an'la lesy mami sur kely zany raha mivetsikelyteny zao mivany kely eto tanàna zany raha eto amiteto Madagascar manokana ny tsipio sady tenefa fa capitalny extreme metal satria hitanao daholo.
At this point, Dams is confident that Antsirabe is the extreme metal capital city in Madagascar. You can find all sorts of extreme metal here, from heavy speed, thrash metal, death metal, or black metal bands you can find here in Antsirabe.
Famparavanan'ireo bandikely teo aoriana fa tena mipaka tamin'ny bandikely ny extreme metal de sahako amin'ity hoe tena capitaln'ny extreme metal Tsirabe. Zany ny anaran'ny kartetetom-panana nataona hoe Diamond City. Izany bany kely teto zany presque.
Back in the day, in Demon City, many youth follow the path of dams and become a metalhead. He went to school but had to drop because lack of financial hardship, lack of opportunity, inequality. The list goes on. So he focused more into his passion of metal music, hoping one day his dream become true.
Vangon'ilay tantaran'ny tanàna teto sy ny nahatonga ny mozika métal eto Madagascar angamba tsy afeniny erak'izao tontolo izao fa pays les plus pauvres anatin'ny
For Dams and his band, metal music is a tool they are using to fight against all injustice, poverty, corruptions, insecurities, and all bad things that happening in their society and their country. They will continue to play and will show the world that they are here and stand for metal music.
Salut daholo ny métalleux manerana Madagascar sy ran'izao tontolo zao.
By the mid-90s, many tendencies, style and subgenre landed in the Red Island. Samar was one of them. They took the stage by the year of 1996 with their unique death metal style. Samar is a shorter name from a biblical story, Samaritan. SOS Friendship was their slogan. Their theme was based on the love of God, friendship, and patriotism. The quartet were united based on their ideology, slogan, but first because of their love of death metal style. The band members were all aware that their country was colonized in the past. Their ancestors were suffering to regain that independence back. So the band felt they had a moral duties and responsibilities to keep and preserve that legacy. They expressed and spread their messages through their heavy music. Samar was distinct by their brutal death metal style. They were considered among the first three bands who adopted the death metal in Madagascar. Like many bands in that time, lack of financial and materials were among their principal issues. On top of that, fans were very impulsive, violent sometimes during a show. Venue materials damages were constant. As most bands in this subgenre, many have their ideology and beliefs, but some are considered themselves as a Christian death metal.
Ça, c'est surtout ce qu'elle fait pour us, c'est projet
Sculpt Forests. This is the project between Meloman and musicians. Hervé Dimon lived abroad at that time, but visited Madagascar from time to time. With his former local school friends, he managed to form a band. All band members loved rock and metal music, but they had to decide what genre and style they are going to do. At that time, melodic death metal, techno thrash metal were a tendency in many countries, as well as in the Red Island. But most of all, it was their friendship was more fun and music was a plus. Since the band members had their preferred style, the mixture, the inputs by each member brought a unique fusion style into the Malagasy scene. Sculpt Voice was a four-piece band, a drummer, a bass, a guitar, and a frontman formula. They had a demo of 5 songs at that time. Their theme and lyrics were mostly talking about their view of life in general. Some Gaudian songs like No Need to Be Christian or No Virgin were among the songs they performed during that time. Their black death metal atmospheric was mainly inspired from the Scandinavians and French metal scene. Influenced by bands like Dismember, grave, entombed at the gate, or dark tranquility. The French bands like Loud Blast, Massacre, No Return influenced this band at a certain level. Sculpt Voice had a short life, but they left a great legacy into the Madagascar Extreme Metal scene. As Madagascar was built with a mixture of population from Africa, the Peninsular Malaysia, the Arabic Peninsula, and some Europeans. This diversity is quite noticeable. Physically, feature, languages, dialects, and culture are slightly different. Madagascar has about 18 different tribes. They have slightly their own culture and tradition as one nation. The Sakalava, the Betsimsaraka, the Mahafali, the Merina are among the dominant tribe that existed at least since the 15th centuries. These tribes practice similar traditions regarding to the ancestral cults, tradition and beliefs, but each have their own way and practice when it's come to the rituals. For example, not all tribes practice the exhumation ritual. This practice is mostly practiced by the tribes from the higher lands. The Mirna, the Betslew, the Betsimsaraka are well known for this practice. The Famadian, or exhumation, is a ritual practice of turning the ancestral bones. This practice basically means to dress the deceased with a new shroud and celebrate life and death with them before they return the bodies in their resting place. Ritual practice make Madagascar very unique because they are one of a few cultures who practice the dance with the dead. From that angle, I was trying to insert a piece in my puzzle and trying to answer some of my questions. As we know, most of these Westerners, heavy metal bands and its subgenre use the symbol of death or skulls, and many talk about death and its universe. I was wondering if there was a coincidence or there was a relation between this African nation and their adoption of the extreme metal. Hard rock, heavy metal, and the extreme metal was first adopted in the capital city as early as the 70s, before it spreaded to other cities like Antsirabe, Tuamasina, or Fianarantsu, in which all the tribes who lives in these areas are all practicing the dance with the dead.
Mike Leon from Soulfly. Shout out to all the homies in Madagascar. I've never been there, but I cannot wait to go. Heavy metal. See you soon.
Madagascar?
Yes.
All right. I'm David from Havoc, and the only thing I know about Madagascar is it's on the east side of Africa, and it's a fucking huge island. Do they have metal shows there? I'm gonna try to make have it go to Madagascar and play a show for the zebras someday. But you guys don't have zebras there, do you? All right, we'll go play for the Fusa.
Hey Chris, do you know the extreme metal, the existence of extreme metal in Madagascar?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
So can you say something to your fan in Madagascar?
You know what? Thanks for everything. Thanks for the support. Horns up. Keep it going. Love you.
You know the existence of extreme metal from Madagascar?
Oh, no, really.
Can you
I wish we could visit it. It's a nice place. That's what I know.
Yeah. Can you say something to your fan in Madagascar?
I hope that Vader and a day will come to your great place. We will rise hell, and that's what we do, and just support metal. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Any fans in Madagascar, thank y'all. Be great to go one day. I love traveling the world, so thank y'all so much, man. Appreciate it.
All these bands were forging, traced and shaped the way and the journey of the extreme metal of Madagascar since its beginning until nowadays. Their unique stories are far from over. They are still evolving as a mad metal evolution.